Hi everyone, welcome to Tarot Map. In this video we are going to be discussing how our tarot practice changes after a certain age. I wrote after the age of 40, but I'm turning 50 this year, end of the month on 29th of November. Half of the century, guys, half of the century. So I was observing, how my practice shifts, and I think this is one part of what I love about tarot so much. That tarot evolves with you. Tarot changes with you. We always change, we grow older, right? Tarot evolves with us, and I think that's why I just never get bored with it, because I'm a Sagittarius, tropical Sagittarius. My mind, it's, racing 1,000 miles an hour, and I get bored with so many things in my life. But tarot and astrology, both of these disciplines, seem to be evolving and shifting and deepening the deeper, the older, the more experienced we go. So I wanted to ask you, how do you experience this? Because for me, my personal reading style, my personal practice, my personal understanding of different cards has shifted and has been shifting kind of constantly, but there are certain points with my own life experiences that coincide with like a different approach and different understanding, different angle to a card. And very often I noticed also that I don't so often reach for tarot anymore to, predict anything or how is my day going to be in this way. I usually just reach for them to listen. I really started observing them more as piece of advice or something that I either can engage with or don't have to, that the choice is truly mine. They don't feel so much like giving me answers anymore, but they feel more like mirrors and more like this reflective tool. And that's, I think, the most fascinating thing for me around tarot these days, that, I can like converse with it and see how the images influence me in the moment, because that can shift. One day if you pull a hermit card, you might feel like, oh fuck, not another day by myself, let's say. But on another day, when you're surrounded by people constantly busy, this hermit can be like the blessing. You like can't wait to be in the hermit state of mind. So when I was observing my practice, and I want you to do the same, I went through all these different kind of stages. And some of you, if you're older than me and you have been on YouTube for a long time, some of you have been with me since I opened this channel, which was maybe, 2016, 2014, one of those early years. So it's over 10 years ago. And you can probably, you observe the way I also shift, I changed. But when I was thinking of myself, in the beginning, there's this stage when you like, or I was, like overwhelmed and like so hungry and so curious for new decks. Every deck I looked at was new. I haven't had many decks, so there was this stage of like buying decks, searching for new decks. I knew everything about decks. We still lived in times where we didn't have a tarot deck coming out every day, so it was a bit easier to like kind of put your mind around. But yeah, I was just creating decks, buying decks. Creating in the sense like looking for decks, buying decks, exchanging decks with people. I met so many of you through exchanges, through sharing our passion for decks. And then I had a stage where I was like, I don't need any decks, I just want Tarot de Marseille. So for a couple of years I was just reading with Tarot de Marseille. I was learning Tarot de Marseille, studying with Enrique Enriquez, with Camelia Elias, with Bendov, with Hodorowski. I was just like immersed in this emerged in this Marseille historical type decks. Loved it to bits. Didn't care for many other decks. just Tarot de Marseille and historical decks. And that's how I kind of started my channel in a way, because I feel like I was kind of learning and sharing at the same time in my videos, like how I learn about Tarot de Marseille. And you guys seem to like it. These videos about Tarot de Marseille in the playlist of Tarot Studies or Tarot de Marseille, I think playlists are still one of the most popular on my channel. And then, you know, after this, I went back into image. I really was, you know, I'm an art lover. I'm fascinated by art. So again, I went into this like deck buying, searching, you know, I have a huge collection, but that suits my personality. So I don't think there is a right way to do collection of tarot. You know, some people love working with just one deck, and that's, I think, great. Some people love working with many decks. As I said, we go through stages. I see numerous times people buying whole collections within a few years and then selling it off because it's too overwhelming. A lot of deck reviewers just go through like, oh, overwhelmed, you know, I can't fit any more decks in my house, etc. So we go through all these different sinusoids, you know, through different stages. But for me, right now, after the age of 40 and around the age of 50, you know, what changed is definitely less buying. I'm much more selective about decks. I have huge amount of decks. So a lot of the new decks are kind of like repetition in a way of like, what would I use this deck for? Unless I'm really like, wow, this artwork is just like, I need this, you know. And then of course I just go for it then, but usually less buying, less new decks, and more conscious choices, more circling around my collection. And I noticed I love doing this because, as I mentioned, my collection is big, so I can always go back to something new, to a deck that I haven't worked with very much in depth. And less FOMO and more presence would be, you know, like a motto for this point. Tarot also has been more and more like a companion for me, like a you know, like I recognize that, yeah, the images and the way I see tarot, the way I see certain images evolves with me. And as I mentioned, I just start seeing them differently. I start to discover different levels to cards, and different like shifts to the archetypes. As you know, I go through particular shifts in my life, so the archetypes grow older too. For example, the lovers, let's say, right? When I look at the lovers, it's not just about meeting someone and being constantly, you know, like in love and the passionate love, etc. Lovers right now, in my age, around the age of 50, I love this depiction from Anna Kay, because this is not only about romance, this is actually about conscious choice, and this fits very well with the Gemini version of the lovers, or the association of the lovers archetype with Gemini sign, but also with the very much traditional depiction of the lovers, which is always kind of three people and the one in the middle has to make a choice. That this is a conscious choice. This is something that we do every day, a choice that we make for love, and that we make for the love that we want to live in our relationships. It's conscious choice to support the other person, to find ways of being together, but also an independent person. And I think this aging lovers is just so beautiful. I also love it from the Black Lily Tarot, because here they naked, and this is also of creating and being open, being able to open yourself up to another person in your nakedness, in a way, you know, with all the shames and about physical body, but also about who we are. We always have those parts that only our closest know about us, right? So I like that this is like depicted in this way. Also in Circle of Doors Tarot, I thought like love becomes more of a companionship or a connection, common vision, something that we can bring together into the world, but also definitely distinctly two individuals that come into the relationship. And from the Death Doula Oracle, I thought this like new narratives about relationships, new narratives about cards in general, new narratives about love that I noticed, you know, with age and growth. It's very important. And you know, I'm going to show a couple of more examples here, but these reflections mostly were inspired by me preparing the Crone's compass, you know, that I created, and I want to invite you to check it out. If you perimenopausal or menopausal and you go through this big transition and initiation, and also, you know, tarot, and you want to work with tarot cards and go deeper with tarot, or get to know tarot archetypes from a little bit different perspective. So this will be like a circle of women, and I just wanted to plug this right in because the last day of the early bird prize, it's today. It finishes on Saturday, 25th of October. So if you are interested, please take a look if that resonates, because this early bird closes tonight. So another example that I thought is interesting for how, you know, when I was younger, my reaction to certain archetypes, and when I'm older, my reaction to it. So for example, the Hermit card becomes much more exciting and much more a welcome sign in readings, and I picked a couple of beautiful cards. So this one is from Asherah Tarot, and I just love it because hermiting, when you're going through perimenopause or menopause, I'm pretty sure a lot of women will agree, we just have this need to spend more and more time alone. We regulate much better when we're alone. We need this time to kind of like really be with all these physical changes that are happening, but also what follows, the mental changes, mental up and downs. Sometimes you just don't have enough space and energy to give energy to other people. So Hermit becomes like a wonderful solace. Also, it's time when you get to, you know, connect with yourself, spend some time within your body, feel into yourself. Love this Solitude card from Death Doula Oracle. By the way, I'm going to meet with the creator of the Death Doula Oracle tomorrow on Monday, October, what date is Monday? Monday, October 20, what is it? Monday, 27th of October. So if you're around, join us for a conversation about Death Doula Oracle, about death, passing. All these subjects are very fascinating to me because, as I mentioned in one of my videos, I feel like menopause or perimenopause that I've been going through for a couple of years now really prepare us for death and for dying. And each woman goes through it very, you know, personally, but I want us to share and to gather and use tarot as a common language, common denominator. How beautiful is also this Hermit from the Circle of Doors Tarot. And this one was from the Cosmic Tarot, Cosmosis Tarot, which is this deck. It has actually really smart ways of depicting archetypes of tarot, especially court cards. I love it. I also thought about Empress. You know, she stops just being fucking pregnant. I never was pregnant, so Empress never was that for me, but she is evolving. She's like, you know, I'm romancing myself in a way. I love this romance card from the Death Doula with the red rose and some kind of, you know, like a pomegranate with cream, but also the darkness. She becomes the empowered one, the one who can, who ages with me as well, and who is over 50, and she has amazing power of regeneration, and she feels like a maga, you know, she still can create a lot. She can be empowered, she can be in herself, like, you know, she's the power of transformation. And also this card from Death Doula I like because this is vision, and I think in this stage when I'm still before the end of menopausal initiation, it's like sometimes I look into the mirror and I think I'm changing. I don't know who I am. I don't know how I look. I don't know what my style is right now, how I want to dress. I don't want to dress how I used to dress. I don't know what some people are much more maybe structured and they know exactly how they are. I'm just keep thinking of Natalia in some way, just because, she has very distinct style and that's her. Right now I'm like all over the fucking place. I don't know anymore. Do I like color? Do I like black? I'm trying to organize my website and change it again to grow with me, and I'm like, do I want color? Do I want black and white? It's hard to make a decision when you're in this transition state. So wherever you join the Crone's Compass or not, I really hope that reminds you that tarot evolves with you, and that I think that's why it's just such an amazing discipline and tool, and it's just a book of life, really. It's it never gets boring. It always gets deeper. It's like this fractal kind of, it goes deeper and deeper and deeper. Same with astrology. I was looking at my chart yesterday, my chart that I started studying when I was 28, when I was having my first Saturn return. That's like forever ago. I've been practicing astrology for over a decade now, but I've been studying astrology for over 20 years. So I was looking at like Jupiter opposing my Pluto, and I know both are not personal planets, but I was just like, well, what is actually this trend? Like, what is this aspect doing to, like, how is it, how do I feel it? And I'm like, oh my God, I never paid attention to this one, so it's always something that you discover. But I would be curious to hear about, how is how do you resonate with what I'm saying about tarot evolving with us? Have you experienced this, that, you look differently at the same cards, even though the cards per se don't change? And thank you so much for watching. Again, if you perimenopausal, take a look at the Crone's Compass offering, early bird till end of 25th of October, and then you can still purchase and join us. Two options, community rate or your VIP rate, when you can also get a reading with me, astrology and tarot. So take a look at all the details in the description box. Thank you for watching again, and may your cards meet you exactly where you are at the moment. Thank you so much. I see you soon. Bye.